Anonymous is not a joke. They're a large cultural icon right now. They started off as this weird thing, and then eventually they grew into this thing. Sean just showed me this video. It was about Anonymous, talking about Kanye West, something or other. And so Anonymous basically fucking ripped him a new one. Right? So what did you think, Sean?
Well, they didn't say anything that was untrue about him.
Interesting. They called him out.
Also,
it was like a roast.
they acknowledged the fact that he is talented and everything
Exactly.
like
They
that.
respected him. They took a good conversational
but said that
strategy.
he's wasting, basically wasting what he's doing.
Exactly.
And
They're
wasting
like,
his talent
look,
on shit that doesn't matter to people.
no one
Like,
man should have this
humanity.
power and money, but since you do something good with it. Don't be such an asshole, right? Don't complain about, bicker about some award this, award that, man. You've got so much money, you're not even trying to help people. He's like, you've got a voice. Your voice is so loud, but you've got no message. That's what Anonymous said, dude. And this is the first time Anonymous actually.
Said, fuck you.
They said fuck you, and they stood up for themselves. They said, look, we are Anonymous, and we're the rest of the people, right? And we think you're an asshole, Kanye. So you can think you're awesome, and you can think you go on stage, and all these people are clapping for you. But those are all the other fucking Hollywood assholes that love to stroke their own egos and your ego, right? And we're not stroking your ego anymore.
Talking about how fashion shows don't benefit anymore.
Exactly. Like, so this is like the real deal, and they're trying to say, look,
considering
man,
yourself to be an artist, and you respect real art. It's not about you walking.
This
down
is
a
why I
runway
think
or
this is
being a
interesting,
fuckboy.
man, because of the personal science. Anonymous will love personal science. They want everybody to be a personal scientist. They say, Kanye, you're not thinking properly. You're not setting your priorities right. You don't have the right motivation, strategy, and directive. He said you have no directive. You're directive-less. He doesn't have a vision for how society should change.
It's a lot of
he has no fucking vision.
hypocritical statements followed by one another.
Exactly. So he doesn't know what he thinks the solution should be. All he knows is that he has tons of fucking money and he doesn't know what to do with it. And he just wants to bitch about shit. You know? And so that's what they called him out for. And it was interesting. Because it was a different quality and different tone. Like Sean said initially, it was not a terrorist. You know, it wasn't like a country or a corporation. It wasn't a corporation.
It's cultural.
It was a cultural issues. They took on something that related to the public, like mass media, right? They took on people. They took on the majority of the mass. They took on the lowest common denominator. Kanye fucking West, a cultural icon, right? Someone that nobody really like. Everybody doesn't like when he's such a dick, right? But they all like his music.
$1,300 on
exactly.
his kicks, or
exactly. And so everybody has him in their life, but they don't exactly respect him because they know he's kind of a fuckwad, right? And so Anonymous took that as an opportunity. It wasn't even about this dude. It wasn't about Kanye in particular. It was about what he symbolized, right? They said what
it's
you
also
represent.
The people that affiliate with him. And,
exactly.
And all
he
those
said what
things.
you all the whole Hollywood shit, right? They had all the imagery about there with the whole Hollywood shit.
Well, they were also talking about how the fact that he should probably hold in his own opinion.
Exactly. And he said
not everybody should be entitled to your opinion because the world has their own.
Mm-hmm. And he said you're just part of this fucking machine, right? So this is an age-old message. You're part of the machine. You're part of the machine. You're part of the problem, not the solution. But the problem is people never listen to that unless you relate to their own issues and their own problems. So what Anonymous is trying now, they're evolving their strategy, and they're trying to say, let's take on the issues that are relevant to people. Just like I'm trying to say with the personal science. How do we make this relevant? How do we market the ideas? And they've moved forward in their ideas. I feel like they've come to a new stage, come to a new phase in their marketing strategy to where now they're able to connect, you know, to someone like me and Sean in a more deep way to where we have a conversation about the Anonymous video rather than watching 30 seconds of it and being like, oh, okay.
I mean, there are a lot of people who listen to music and they only think about like, oh, this makes me feel like this or this should make me feel like this, but they don't think about the actual repercussions of what they're
exactly. What it says, what it symbolizes, what kind of imagery it uses, all that, how it's programming your brain. And Anonymous was talking about programming the U.S. mass media, right? And that it was just brainwashing. And so Anonymous is going to eat this personal science up. So we're going to have to try to contact Anonymous by some anonymous transmission, right, on YouTube. We're going to hashtag Anonymous, something or other, try to fucking tweet at them. Tweet at them so they can retweet us, right, and make us famous through their stupid anonymous network, right? But they'll work with us because we want to make the world a better place. We've got a message. We've got no money, but we've got a strong message. So you know, if Kanye wants to have a change of heart, he can give us a bunch of money if he wants. And then Anonymous wouldn't be so mad at him, probably. They would be like, all right, fine, we forgive you. If you give the Emergent Fellows like $5 million, we forgive you, right?
This also happened to coincide with Kanye West's laptop being stolen at the Paris Fashion Week.
Oh, really?
They started leaking his tracks and shit.
His tracks?
And quite frankly, I don't give a shit about
shit?
any of his new tracks, man.
Stupid.
He's a good beat maker, but that's it.
Steal his resources that he think are so precious, right? He thinks his ideas are so valuable.
Yeah,
They're
dude,
not.
I make my own beats. I don't
exactly,
need that cat.
dude. Fuck that, dude. or his money or his bullshit. But I said he could give us his money.
I
if he
make
wanted
hip hop
to.
music that dude thinks that what he does is art.
Yeah. He's sold out in the
And
wrong way.
I'm a white cat who doesn't sell out.
We were talking about
Fuck
selling
that.
out. There's a right and a wrong way to sell out. Everybody sells out. Selling out is just selling your ideas. We all have to sell our ideas to survive, right? And there's a right and wrong way to do it.
If you wanted to maintain art, you could have done it a different way than collaborating with Adidas on some fucking overpriced hippie shoe with a zipper that sells for $300.
Exactly. So it's looking at what
we're
the
marrying
product
Kim
is for.
Kardashian or playing that
Yes.
fucking game.
What is the motivation you're playing at? Is it to get rich or is it to change the world? Kanye. And that's what Anonymous was saying. What's your motivation? Your directive is wrong, man. Your motivation and your directive is wrong. Yeah, you got a good
Kanye
strategy.
West.
Yeah, you got a good strategy. You got a good voice. You got a good connection with people on the emotional level with your art and your craft. But you got no message. You got no fucking motivation. You got no directive. And so that's why they said, Kanye, you're a fuckboy. You're a fuckboy, Kanye.
You're a fuckboy, Kanye.
That's exactly what it is. This is my response video to Anonymous. I'm going to hashtag Anonymous on this one. Anonymous, I'm making a personal science, dude. I'm making it right? So, Anonymous, you say, probably you would say, right? I'm guessing you would say probably people don't know how to think very properly. Especially people like Kanye, right? He's
Or
an
people-
idiot, right?
He's someone who says that he has respect to history,
yes, and
but,
he says,
but
yes.
never actually accurately portrays it.
He's
nor does he-
referencing fucking Michael, well, whoever
Nor does he
did,
follow the
Michelangelo,
same message
whatever.
that those people
No,
had, man.
he doesn't
You
even
can't
have a
compare
message.
yourself to artists like
He doesn't, and that's why Anonymous is pissed, right? And that's why we agree with Anonymous, because we're like, yeah, Kanye, you're a fuckboy. You're not really anything special.
And we're kids living out in the slums of Atlanta,
Yes,
dude.
and we're
It's not
calling
even
Kanye
like
West a fuckboy because, who cares if he's got money? Who cares if he's got tons of people? If he's got 1,000,001 followers? Who gives a fuck, dude? If he's a fuckboy and he sells out in the wrong way, then we don't respect him anymore. We're artists too, man. We make our own shit as well, and we don't want your shit anymore, Kanye. Because Anonymous pointed out how fucked up you were. I didn't want your shit to begin with, right? I don't even care about you.
I thought you were alright.
All right, Sean thought you were okay, right? So, okay, you lost one fan. Me, you didn't even have me as a fan to begin with, right? I didn't even think you were that cool. I didn't really, pay much attention to you. But Sean, he's into music and stuff. He cares about that. Now he's like, you know what? Kanye is kind of a dick. His new stuff is kind of shitty, and he's kind of a douchebag, right? And so, it's not that he's...
It's not the point.
It's
I
not,
mean,
yeah.
Really, the point is that if you're going to claim to be an artist and a legitimate artist, you should probably put shine on legitimate artists and know who
Exactly.
you're talking about when you're going to
And
open your mouth.
And that's the difference between a douchebag artist and a non-douchebag artist, right? And that's the difference between a genuine artist and a non-genuine artist, right? So you can be an artist, you can produce things, but you no longer have the artist spirit, the artist essence of creativity and of love and of wisdom, of trying to change and move things in the right direction, Trying to change this world. That's what art is, making an impact, making a change, making people think certain things.
And especially from a guy who already knows the music that changed the world and shit like that. It's like, hey man, you can't be Marvin Gaye. You can't be everybody else of that. You can't be Gil Scott-Heron. You could be Kanye West. You could be a lot better than you already are.
Exactly, dude. And he's thinking better maybe in terms of his music and stuff, but he's not thinking better in terms of his personal life,
No,
like
man,
his
it's
own
like-
whole thing,
It's better for society.
Yeah, better for society, not better for Kanye, dude. Not just better for your music, man. Better for everyone. Better for us. Better for me, who has no relation to you, right? Why can't you impact my life when I don't even know you, man? You got tons of money, millions, billions of dollars, who knows, bunch of money, right? Why can't, right, you have an impact on people that don't listen to your music because you've got this influence now. So use that influence in a positive direction. That's what Anonymous is saying. But here's a problem. Kanye is not a personal scientist. He doesn't have that personal science. That's what Anonymous doesn't quite understand. We don't blame Kanye. I don't blame Kanye.
No, they do understand
They
the
do,
fact that
because
he
they
lives.
said he's a good artist. And he's
They're
they
like,
respected
also, why
him.
would you feel obliged to feel a certain way
That's true.
when you're living in the lap of luxury? But there's
Yes.
also that certain point where it's like you're claiming to stand up for artistic.
Oh, and that's with the breaking
creativity
point.
and all
That's the
that
breaking
shit in-
point. Yeah.
That's not who he is.
Exactly.
Man. It's not who he is anymore. Hell
So
no.
he needs help reflecting on his
You know,
decisions.
some of cats like Rockefeller, Def Jam, or dudes like that, man, I wouldn't accept the deal.
Yeah, exactly. That's why he needs help reflecting and getting feedback. So Anonymous gave him some feedback. We're going to give him some additional feedback, not quite as harsh, right? And then we're going to link with Anonymous and say, hey, Anonymous, you identified a problem. We have a solution, but we don't have the manpower to make it happen. Can we work with you? We're doing it all open source anyways, right? We got some crazy technology. I'm a PhD student at everything's, right? So we got it going on. But we need help, and Anonymous seems to have a bunch of people. Maybe it's just one dude in his basement, which would be cool too. That dude is obviously dedicated, so dude, if you're in your basement, that's cool too. We could use your help. If it's only one guy, that's fine. If it's like 1,000,000 guys too, that's fine too. We could use all their helps. So either way, probably just trying to get attention of Anonymous somehow or another. We're going to figure out how to make it go viral or something or other, or just tweet at him, whatever. We'll see. But
I think to get their attention, you just have to do something truly awful.
truly awful or awesome?
No,
Awful
I
and
don't know,
awesome
you
at the
know,
same
like-
time. Both awful and awesome at the same time, such that they don't even know what to fucking think, right? So then they just tweet us because they're just confused. So I think that's the plan, maybe. I don't know.